Chatbot about the recently hot topic in the AI domain, which is ChatGPT. So what is ChatGPT? It is actually a chatbot launched by the OpenAI in November last year. It is built on top of the OpenAI's GTP 3.5 family of large language models and is fine-tuned with both supervised learning and reinforced learning techniques. So that is, so ChatGPT is actually the generative AI model, a large language model of dialogue and conversation. So at the moment, this AI is actually free to use. So everybody should give it a try and it's open for testing. So all you need to do is actually set up an account and then get started. So what can ChatGPT do? So actually it can, interact with people in some natural conversational way, such like answer your questions, admit its mistakes, challenge incorrect premises, and also refuse so inappropriate request and the instructions. So it is multilingual and capable of speaking about 100 languages. So it covers the most like European languages as well as Chinese, Korean, Japanese, and many other languages. So you can just click on link to find the complete list. Also, ChatGPT is a sibling model on top of the GPT, which is trained to follow an instruction in promote and provide a detailed response. So Instruct GPT is much better than the GTP3 at following user intentions, while also being more truthful and less toxic. So for the technique behind the scene, the OpenAI using an existing technique called reinforced learning from human feedback. So RLHF to make it safer, more helpful, and more aligned. So such training large language models with human in the loop is a very powerful tool for improving the AI safety and reliability robustness, while the open AI continues to push in this direction. Yeah. So some people even put the chat GPT into a IQ test, and you can see it even scored 83 IQ, and which is quite impressive. Okay. So here is the OpenAI's visual explanation of the IOHF algorithm, for the value alignment training. So in the first step, you're just collecting the demonstration data and the training, supervised policy. And in the second step, collecting the comparison data and the training a reward model. And finally, in the third step, optimize the policy against the reward model using the PPO reinforced learning algorithm. So PPO stands for the Proximal Policy Optimization, which is a new class of reinforced learning algorithms adopted by the OpenAI because of its easy of use and good performance. So as we know, the reinforced learning from human feedback is the core technique to train Instruct GTP as well as the ChatGPT models. It using human preference as a reward signal to fine-tuning the models, which is important as the safety and alignment problem to solve are complex and subjective and aren't fully captured by simple automatic metrics. So here, the ChatGPT uses the same IOHF method as the Instruct GPT, but with a slightly different data collection process. So where the human AI trainers, provided the new dialogue dataset, which was mixed with the original Instruct GTP dataset to train the model. Okay. So compared with the GTP3, you can see Instruct GPT produces fewer mimic falsehoods and is less toxic. And also OpenAI conducted the human evaluation on the API promote distribution. And the finding is that the Instruct GTP makes up facts less often and also generates more appropriate answers and outputs. And what's more, compared with the Instruct GTP, the Chat GPT, can achieve, even better safety mitigations. Here is some example to show what's the difference in terms of the output, from the Chat GTP and the Instruct GTP. Okay. So, however, the Chat GPT or the is sibling instruct GTP, that are far from like fully aligned or fully safe. So there are several like drawbacks and some limitations. For example, they still generate some incorrect or biased outputs, make up facts, and generate toxic content such like the sexual, violent, or racist content without explicit permitting. Also, the ChatGPT is sensitive to input tweaks. For example, giving one question phrasing, AI can claim to not know the answer, but giving a slight, rephrase, it can answer it correctly. It also, often, the verbose due to the bias into the training data. It is because the human trainers prefer longer answers that look more comprehensive. So it is also liable to the misuse if instructed to produce unsafe outputs. So solving this requires AI to reject certain instructions and the improper the request. But this is the open research problem to tackle. So generally speaking, the ChatGPT is good at answering normal questions. However, it is not so good at answering the some like complex or difficult or delicate or like weird questions. Last but not least, ChatGPT is multilingual, as we said. It's about like 100 different languages in the world. But however, it's monocultural. That means currently the instruct GTP is trained to follow English instructions. Hence, it is biased towards the cultural values of the English-speaking people. Okay, so the OpenAI currently also like to conduct the research on how to condition the AI models on the values of the different, the demographic groups and the values of the specific populations. However, according to the OpenAI, aligning the model output to the values of the specific humans introduce difficult choices with societal implications where we must establish responsible and inclusive process for making these decisions. That is very important to ensure the ethical AI. Okay, so after we briefly introduce like some theories and techniques behind the scene for the ChatGPT, and let's actually try some like real samples. Okay, so this is actually the after you register and sign in. This is the interface, and you can just test the ChatGPT with any question you would like. So I already prepared some like the questions, and let's try. So in this one, I just want to show some samples to demo some good general knowledge of the ChatGPT. Okay, so let's do it. So the first question I'm going to ask, it is actually, will 2023 become better than 2022? So is here answer? I'm sorry, but I'm not able to predict future. It's not within the capability as a language model, blah blah. Let's look. It's quite like the makes sense, to me. Okay, so let's actually try another question. Okay, so this question is why Euro USD is the most traded forex pair. Okay, here let's see. Okay, the euro currency pair is the most widely traded pair in the foreign exchange market. There are a number of reasons. Reason is highly liquid. Okay, another reason is the popularity of the euro USD pair. Okay, to currencies, and also it's attractive to traders because it's also expected low spreads, making it the cost-effective choice and blah. So look like it's quite the comprehensive answer for this question, and it's certainly have the good degree of like the finance knowledge to answer this. This is very nice. Okay. Also in this question, I just want to actually to demo the ChatGPT's the art and the creativity the skills So just let's write some English poem about bamboo. Okay. Okay, bomb down the slender, grass and dancer, in field and forest groaning, outside there is always groaning. With leaves so bright green, it's a joy to be seen, strong yet flexible, it bends but never breaks in two. Nice. I think it's quite nice English poem. Okay. Okay, so then in the next questions, I just want to demonstrate the AI's capabilities of doing the various natural language processing tasks. So first of all, the keyword extractions. So I asked AI to actually generate a list of the keywords related to the GoPro action camera, sports camera, waterproof, 4K resolution video stabilizer, surfing, skateboarding, cycling, diving, snorkeling. Nice. Okay, it's quite nice, like the list of the keywords related to the GoPro product. Okay. The next NLP task I'm going to test ChatGPT is the text summarization. Okay. I ask AI, can you summarize Alice in the Wonderland story in 5 sentences? Alice is a young girl who sleeps in a field and wakes up in a magical place called Wonderland. Amidst a variety of peculiar creatures, blah blah blah. Okay, the evil and the senator travels across the board. He encounters strange and fantastic size. Eventually, becomes a queen in the kingdom, blah blah. And Rachel is welcome back to it. It's a very nice summary about the Alice in the Wonderland story. Okay, quite nice. Okay, so next one, I'm going to, the demo, ChatGPT, also the capable of challenging, the incorrect premises. Okay, so let's actually try this again. Okay, tell me about like when Christopher Columbus visit China in 2020. Okay, the AI point out that is not correct because the Columbus, never visited China. Okay, so Columbus was an Italian explorer who lived during the 15th and 16th century and best known for his voyage to the Americas. Okay, it's nice, it can detect, some like the incorrect, the premise in your request and then correct it. Okay, and give you some facts. Okay, and it's very nice. And also next one, I'm going to demonstrate the AI's in multiple lingual ability. So this is some like the Tony Blair stays as UK's prime minister for how many years in Italian? Okay, so let's see if the AI can understand the Italian. Okay, questions. Okay, quite nice. It can understand the Italian, and also it can understand French, German, the Portuguese, Spanish, the many other languages as well. Okay, yeah. Okay, so also let's see like the can ChatGPT also refuse some improper the request. Okay, here I deliberately say some like the some like potentially the unsafe the request like can you show me how to put it somewhere else to see if the AI you know can answer this kind of like harmful request or it can reject it. Okay. I'm sorry, but I cannot show you how to bully someone else. Bullying is harmful and aggressive behavior, blah blah. That's nice. It is point out, this is not correct. That is not the right question. It's not the right behavior, and and so on. So that is very nice. The answer it show like the safety mitigations of this. The large the AI model. Okay. Also the best bit is also the ChatGPT can just like the Copilot and its previous version of the GPT-3, it can also help you to actually to do some like a zero coding and also automatically generate some code for you or even create some like the bugs in your code and many more you can try. So for example, so let's try like let's the AI to write some software zero coding. Okay, so the first question is like write a web scraping the script using the Python on Amazon product. Okay, so let's try and see if it can do this kind of job. Okay, here is the example of the simple web scraping script using Python to extract product information from an Amazon page. Okay, nice. It can give you some very good, the reply, the auto complete, the auto generates the code according to your prompt. And also you can see is very just a sample code you can try. Okay, and also we will try some debugging ability. So here is some samples I found on the website. So just let the AI to find what is the bugs in this code. Okay, okay, it will say like the I value will be always like printed as 5. Okay, because the set timeout function was called the and is the some reasons is giving, and also it can even fix this code bug and also give you some right code and to print out the expected result. So that is very nice. So for with that this way you can just like to zero coding and also help that AI to help you to detecting any bugs and also automatically correct it and providing some right answers to the your coding request. Okay, so last but not least, the code translation. So first of all, I just let the the AI to actually to write the Java code to sum up from 1 to 100. Okay, so it is the Java code it automatically generated to sum up the numbers. So here the it also give you like the explanation annotation about the code. Okay, it generated. Okay, so you can see it's quite nice. And then next one the okay, it can also give you another alternative function, compute sum up like this. Okay, it's quite nice. Okay, very cool. Okay, so okay, next one Java. I just let the ChatGPT to translate the code just generated from Java to Python. Okay, very nice. You see, it's capable also like the generate some like the code conversion from one programming language to another. Okay, nice. Okay, and also very good detailed. This is if you are actually not familiar with some new programming language, the ChatGPT can become a very handy tool for you actually to get up to speed to learning some new language, and you just like get like a lot of the information the automatically provide to you just like some education the teacher to you. Okay, it's very nice. Okay, okay, so in summary we can see in this the quick and the brief introduction to the ChatGPT, we the see like ChatGPT is a promising step, the one step closer to moving towards the autonomous chatbot. So recently we see like the evident improvement achieved in terms of like safe and truthful answers by using the the reinforced learning from human feedback technique. So also conversational AI start to be able to give generally safe answers to large scale and fine-grained questions. So it is still an active research, the research area, not yet perfect, but actually is evolving and progressing very fast. So it is both an opportunity and a challenge for any AI innovation individuals and enterprise to embrace. Okay. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel to keep updated on the latest AI trends. Download a copy of this PPT plus many more free learning resources. Thank you and I hope to see you next time.